it is me. You can call me Marie or Azur, whichever you think is best. They are both alter egos to me. So I'm creating this video and this voiceover. I kind of preemptively mentioned it in a community post, but I just think there's a lot I have to say. I am a yapper at heart. There's a lot of things I've wanted to say in videos. I've wanted to explain the context behind the builds I'm doing, and context behind the decisions I'm making, and just a whole bunch of different things. And I think, given that I've been away for a few months, my last video was 8 months ago, I was uploading weekly, and then Skyrim found me. And when I get into a Skyrim hyperfixation, all I do is work, sleep, Skyrim. So that's where I've been the last few months. And I've also just been in a bit of a negative mental health spiral. But now I'm kind of coming out of the clouds, out of the fog, and here to kind of talk about the future of this channel, this forever save file I have planned, as well as the EA buyout, because a lot has happened in the few months I have not uploaded. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. You can call me Marie, or you can call me Azur. Again, like I said, they are alter egos. If I could be a sim, I would be in the young adult life stage. Also, if I could be a sim, I would be creative, gloomy, and a perfectionist. Those would be my 3 traits. Maybe if I could add some discovery traits, I'd maybe discover I'm a bit paranoid, maybe a bit nervous, absolutely socially awkward, maybe a little cringe. It kind of depends, but those 3 core traits are absolutely what I am. And that's kind of all you'd need to know, really. I mean, you'll probably discover a lot more about my perfectionism and my creativity, and maybe even the gloominess if I decide to do more voiceovers and have this be a regular thing. I have no idea if it's going to be a regular thing right now, but we will see. Lo and behold, we will see. So I'm basically creating a forever save file. This is inspired by the lovely Miss Lollipop Sims. The save file she is creating is absolutely chef's kiss beautiful. I love her custom content, I love her sim style, I love her content in general, and I love her streams. Her community is such a vibe, and it just inspired me to create my own save file with my own ideas and my own style. So that's how I bring you to this build. This build is the first build I did for the forever save file. It is a starter home. It is about 18,200 something, so absolutely move-in ready. And it kind of captures the aesthetic and vibe I have envisioned for Willow Creek in this save file. So the save file overall is going to be pack friendly. I'm not using any stuff packs. I am only using base game plus the packs that come with worlds, and only those items in those packs. So say for example I renovate Brindleton Bay next, it'll only have base game and Brindleton Bay, and it'll be friendly in that sense, because when I was first playing The Sims 4 specifically, I didn't have the money for packs. I was a student, and it was really nice when there were pack-friendly save files, and that's just the essence I want to capture. And as much as I love build custom content and love Miss Lollipop style, build custom content is quite scary and confusing to me. I absolutely use custom content in my everyday saves and casts though. Absolutely, I am a custom content girly when it comes to Sims making, just not building. I'd like my builds to be accessible. Not that custom content for builds is bad, I absolutely love it, I think it's gorgeous. It's just not something I can build with. I find it quite confusing and overwhelming, all the different pieces, as beautiful as it is. When it's done well, it's great though. Anyway, so the vibe I have for Willow Creek is it's very polished, very family friendly, very family oriented, very perfect on the outside, I say with quotation marks. And the townies, I've finished all of the townies for the save file for the base game worlds, so Oasis Springs, Willow Creek, Newcrest. I've created all the townies, the timelines between The Sims 1 and The Sims 2. So for example, Bella and Mortimer Goth are both young adults. I think Mortimer Goth's an adult actually. Yes, he's an adult, but Bella Goth is a young adult, Cassandra Goth is a child, because that's how they were in The Sims 1. And then there are some Sims 2 Sims that I've added as teenagers. For example, the Caliente sisters are teenagers, as well as Don Lothario. And there is Michael Batchelor there as a young adult. So there is a bit of a loophole with the age gaps, given, you know, Cassandra and Don Lothario end up together as adults if he doesn't leave her at the altar. and doesn't of course repeatedly cheat on her, which he always does in The Sims 2, as well as Dina Caliente and Michael Batchelor do get married, and obviously Michael Batchelor passes away. So the way I imagine this is, for example, Michael Batchelor at the beginning of the save file is a young adult, and Dina Caliente is a teenager. I imagine they don't interact, they don't know each other, and then when she becomes a young adult, she leaves and goes to university for a few years and comes back, and at that point where she and Michael are both comfortably adults, that's when they get together. Maybe after uni she decides, hey, I never want to work a day in my life, I'm sick of university, I'm sick of working for things, and that's when she gets with Michael. That's kind of what I imagine is, even though there are some age gaps, in the initial way you start my save file, the way I imagine it is all the Sims who are meant to get together in the timeline do when they are all adults and not before then. Cool, so there's no weirdness, I promise, it was not intended that way. And I've created all the Sims. At this stage, I'm adding all of their skills and relationships between the other Sims. The Sims, again, it's between the Sims 1 and the Sims 2 timeline-wise. There are Sims from the Sims 3 incorporated into it. There are Sims from the console games. There's Dusty Hog, for example. He absolutely had to be in Oasis Springs. He's hilarious. And that's pretty much what I envisioned for the save file. As for the future of this channel, there's going to be a lot of base game builds coming up as I actually do the builds for the save file, because I've only done 2 of the builds so far. This starter home, as well as the BFF household home, that's the only 2 I've done right now. After that, it will be the oldies house, because I have Herb and Coral Oldie as adults with their child Mary Sue, who they've recently adopted. She's best friends with Cassandra. You get the vibe. But yeah, I've done none of the builds, I've only done 2. So there's going to be a lot of base game builds coming up, but I want to have variety. I want to play other games. I want to incorporate other games, because as much as I love The Sims, and there are times where I only play The Sims, which is very recently, that's all I've been playing, that's all I've wanted to play, I do play other games. I love Skyrim, I love modding Skyrim, I absolutely want a Skyrim Let's Play for the girlies. My favourite Skyrim Let's Play of all time that I've actually managed to find on YouTube is Claire Siobhan's Skyrim Choose Your Own Adventure. I would love to do something like that, and I would love to play Undertale, I'd love to play Pokemon. There are so many games I just want to play. So if you're down with that, stay tuned. I also want to do Let's Plays of The Sims. I'd love to do a rotational Let's Play of my base game save file once it's out. There's so much I want to do, and going into, or kind of talking about all the stuff I want to do, there is kind of a caveat, an elephant in the room, which is the EA buyout. So another reason I wanted to have this voiceover is because I did want to talk about the EA buyout, and my thoughts on this, I'm going to summarize it as best I can. I feel like the only way I can explain it properly is by talking, because again, I am a yapper. And basically, I have made the decision that when or if the buyout goes through, fingers crossed it doesn't go through and the amount of pushback from the Sims community stops this happening. I really hope that's the case. I'm not going to financially support the Sims when or if the buyout goes through. I'm no longer going to buy Sims packs. I will still post Sims content, I will still play the Sims. It's impossible for me not to, because I have been playing since 2005. I can't just erase this part of myself, but I'm not going to financially support The Sims whether if the buyout goes through. I'm absolutely not going to, and hopefully over time, as I try and do more videos, as I kind of create more of a presence, have this be more of a prominent hobby than it has been previously, the lack of new Sims content or me not buying packs doesn't deter from the content I am making, if that makes sense. So I think that aligns with my values, and that's kind of the best way forward. Thankfully, because this is only a hobby, and I do only imagine this channel to be a hobby because I like to be realistic with my goals, it would be also unrealistic of me to just not play The Sims whatsoever, and I want to enjoy what I make, and I think this is a nice medium where it aligns with what I believe, and it shows that I do not support this buyout. So I think that's the best way I have to explain it. I think on that note, that's all I really have to say for the rest of the video. So I'll leave you with music, and I'll leave you with the screenshots when it eventually gets there. Thank you so much for listening. Please give me your thoughts in the comments if you want another voiceover. Hopefully I'm less awkward in the next one. Also, if you have listened to this and have enjoyed it and have made it this far, thank you so much. I would absolutely love to get to know you better as well, and if you could have 3 Sims traits, what traits would those be? They can be from any packs. They could even be from The Sims 3 if needed, because they had a lot more traits. Please tell me in the comments. I'd love to know you more. And I hope you have a good day, my friends. Thank you for watching.